What's the deal, YouTube? Top of the top. This your boy Wavey T. Come follow me and let's talk about it, man. Hope everything going smooth with y'all. I hope y'all having a good day. You feel what I'm saying? You already know we back at it with another reaction, man. And we hitting y'all with last moments caught before death. Damn, man, this shit about to get real. You already know what time it is, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man, and share the video, man. Helps the Wave gang go up and it helps us in the process. Hey, man, enough about me. Let's get to these videos. Let's get it popping like grease. Come on.
Florida's 17th Judicial Circuit is currently trying to decide what really happened on the night of the 26th of October 2018 when this video was captured. Several young men can be seen getting ready to drive out together in two cars. Among them are four young rappers who had come together to form the YNW group: Jamel Demons, Anthony DeAndre Williams, Christopher Jermaine Thomas Jr., and Malik Henry.
Hey, man, we already know about YNW Melly, man. If y'all already know about this one, man, y'all leave it down in the comments, man.
This video marks the last time two members of that group will be seen alive. Later that night, Anthony DeAndre Williams and Christopher Jermaine Thomas Jr. would be shot dead inside the car. By the time Malik Henry gets them to Memorial Miramar Hospital, they were dead. But what really happened? The prosecutors believe that two group members, Jamal Demons and Malik Henry, had planned and murdered their friends before staging it to give an appearance of a drive-by shooting. At 4:35 a.m., only a few hours after this video was captured, Malik Henry drove the car to the hospital with the two rappers in the back seat. They both had multiple gunshot wounds on their bodies. The scariest part of it all is how life continues after such gruesome death, like the dead never existed. The four rappers had planned to appear on a video shoot with another artist the next day, and while YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie lay dead in the morgue, Malik Henry and Jamal Demons went ahead to appear in the video. They were both arrested on the 13th of February of 2019 and charged with 2 counts of murder. The chilling thing about death is that sometimes it comes from the most unexpected source. For Paulius, it came from a friend, one with who he shared the last moments of his life. Here, Paulius, 24, is seen smiling with his friend Sean Bull, who's 21, in Heathtown, Wolverhampton on the 13th of July of 2020. His guard's down, completely relaxed, knowing he's with a friend and there was nothing to worry about. He didn't know it would come to be his last moments alive. At some point during the day, they leave that spot and were seen in a mall and later at a block of flats in Sherville Rise in Heathtown. There's no sign of trouble on any of their faces at this time, no sign that they'd quarreled, yet 7 minutes later, Sean Bull will be seen running out of the block of flats and disappearing out of view with a bloody knife in his hand. If it's not murder, then why is he running? No one knows what really happened to change the tides except the victim who's dead and Bull who refused to talk. Some say Bull had gotten agitated over a call Paulius received, which led to an argument, and Bull stabbed his friend, leaving him to die. You can see Bull running out of the block of flats with what looked like a gun in his hand.
Wait. You stabbed bro over a phone call or whatever he said on the phone?
Hands. One moment we see Paulius smiling and chatting away with his friend, the next moment he's dead and we're left to fill the gaps as there's no one to tell his story. Sean Bull was arrested and jailed for life with a minimum of 20 years. The night before she died, Kaylee Goncalves made an Instagram post. It was a picture of herself surrounded by 4 of her best pals with the caption, "One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people." It was the last post she would make. Earlier that night, a CCTV camera captured her at a food truck near the university campus. It was the last time she was seen alive. It was 1:30 a.m., and you can see Kaylee in the white hoodie, full of life and particularly exuberant. She was with one of her best friends, Madison Mogan. You can tell Kaylee loves life by the way she's laughing and hugging her friends, but she isn't alone in this. Madison in the black jacket can be seen embracing a friend, each of them sharing a happy moment, unaware that death lurked in the shadows. Kaylee takes pictures. Watch her as Madison grabs their order, both of them prancing happily out of our view forever. Like actors at the end of the play, they make their final bow. When Kieran and Jared Forbes died earlier this year on the 10th of February of 23, the world felt the chills, and it wasn't just about who he was. On one hand, he was a well-known rapper, one of the best rappers out of South Africa, but on the other hand, the manner of his death, the brutal manner in which he was cut down in his prime, gave everyone the chills. The rapper, known by his stage name aka, died on his birthday, just as he was about to get into gear and have a blast.
Oh man, bro then went and got killed on his birthday. Damn, man. Rest in peace, though.
He'd been scheduled to perform at Yugo, a nightclub in Durban, as part of his birthday celebrations. Around 10 p.m. that night, he was all set and was standing with a friend outside a restaurant on Florida Road close to the venue. This is the last place aka would be seen alive. Here's a video of him outside the restaurant. One of the last things aka did on Earth was hug his friend and hold tight for a moment. Watch him hug and shake hands with the man in the hat, oblivious to the danger that lurked just around the corner waiting. Moments after that hug, he was shot and killed at point-blank range by an unknown gunman who disappeared immediately after the shots were fired.
Damn, after just showing love with his homie, bro, they just run up on him.
He was great, one of the best in his genre, and just at 35, he still had a whole lot more to give, but he didn't know death was around the corner. Just before his demise, Jose Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy was at the Riva Motorsports dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Was he getting himself a new ride? Possibly. He certainly had the wealth as his career had been on the upward trajectory over the past year. The rapper, known by his stage name XXXTentacion, was caught on camera having a very normal day, going about his usual business, unaware that the Grim Reaper was only moments away from touching him with his sickle. Watch the rapper walk into the dealership, stylish as always. Watch for the Louis Vuitton bag in his hand. Reports say the bag was containing $500,000 on this day. Many believe the bag and its content contributed to the rapper's tragic demise. A black SUV drives into the dealership minutes after XXXTentacion walked in. This is important because many believe this is to be the moment the Grim Reaper walked in. Two men get out of the car and can be seen walking by XXXTentacion as they make their way into the dealership. This footage of the rapper would mark the last time the world saw him alive and on his feet. As he drove out of the dealership's parking lot, a black SUV blocked him in. Two men emerged from it, stole his bag.
I mean, far as I can say, man, we all know what happened to X, man. Rest in peace to X. Real talk, you feel me? I was just jacked up how he went out, you know what I'm saying? 100, rest in peace, dog.
Then shot him. He was taken to the nearest hospital, Broward Health North, where he was pronounced dead. If you knew your ends at hand, what would you rather be doing in your last moments? For Grammy-nominated rapper Kirsnick Gary Ball, known by his stage name Takeoff, it was good food and good friends. But he didn't know that these moments would be his last. He had died after a private party in Houston, but that wasn't the last time he was caught on camera alive. The rapper was part of a very successful rap group called Amigos. They had had great success with their songs, making the top 10 on the Billboard.
I ain't gonna lie, rest in peace to Takeoff. I mean, far as what I heard, I thought, like, you know, it was do-over a dice game or something like that. Maybe I, you know what I mean, maybe I read that wrong. Man, y'all let me know down in the comments, bro. We'll see.
100 list. That takes some doing, especially when you consider their multiple Grammy nominations. He had lived on, and the day he died, many will argue that he was living as always on his own terms. It was on the night of the 1st of November 2022, and Takeoff had had a party to attend later that night at 810 Billiards and Bowling in Green Street, Houston. When a superstar is preparing to attend a party, one of the things they take care of is their jewelries, and for Takeoff, that means having his cleaned at Johnny Dang & Company Custom Jewel. You can see Takeoff with his uncle Quavo, another member of the rap trio, Migos, as the owner welcomes them enthusiastically. Later that night, just as he was leaving the private party at 810 Billiards and Bowling, Takeoff was shot. He died on the scene. The world can be cold sometimes. You live and walk among people knowing very little of their intentions, or how one moment you're having an argument with your neighbor and the next, death comes with a bang. For this Brooklyn family, their day went from bad to worse in a matter of seconds. This video was captured on the 4th floor of an East Flatbush housing complex. It was a noise complaint. The man in all black is a downstairs neighbor who had come up to complain about the noise coming out of the apartment above him. It wasn't the first time the two families had clashed over the noise complaint. 47-year-old Jason Pass was fed up with the family living above him, and just as before, he went up to have a chat with them about good neighborly contact. But this time he went with a loaded gun tucked into his coat. Emotions are high, you can see it in the atmosphere. The man in all black is...
Hey, look, bro. I don't even know what to say about that, bro. I mean, who knows what he's been going through? I mean, I don't know, bro, but you know what I'm saying? he was pressing the issue, bro. And I mean, what do you expect? You feel what I'm saying, bro? I had to pull out on him, but damn.
Agitated, the woman is agitated and can be seen pointing at him. The woman's son, Chinwai Mode, was standing with her, quietly observing. Like all neighborly arguments, this would have ended at raised voices, but 47-year-old Vladimir Matherin emerges from his apartment, angry and brandishing a pair of scissors. He gets in his neighbor's face, pointing with the scissors. Watch closely and you'll see the moment Matherin's wife tried to hold him back to keep him from getting in Jason Pass's face. It was the last thing he would ever do as Pass whipped out a gun moments later and ended the argument in the most brutal manner possible. In Season 6 of the voice singing competition, there were loads of standout singers trying to outshine each other. Christina Grimmie stood out, blowing coaches and viewers away with her beautiful voice. She'd go on to finish third at that year's competition, boosting her already growing presence on the music scene. On the 10th of June of 2016, Christian performed with the rock band Before You Exit at the Plaza Live, one of the oldest theaters in Orlando, Florida. This is the last video of Christina, doing what she loved best as she opened for the band. She looked happy, accomplished, and full of life, unaware that it will be her last. The show ended at 10 p.m. and with Christina along with the other performers had a meet and greet with the fans. Here are some of the photos she took with fans collected in a montage. It was at this point, around the 10:20 p.m. mark, that 27-year-old Kevin James Lobel approached Christina. She opened her arms to give him a hug, thinking he was one of the happy fans, but he wasn't. In a shocking move, Kevin James Lobel shot and killed Christina Grimmie, then shot himself. Many people have fitness plans and goals they never follow through. You probably have one yourself. The plan is to go to the gym more often, take long walks in the evening, or jog in the mornings. For Stanislav Ritsky, this jog will be the last thing he does before death caught up with him violently. It's the city of Krasnodar in Russia. The submarine commander is taking a familiar route for his regular exercise routine. Notice the man wearing a hat, trailing Stanislav as he enjoyed his run. Moments after we see Stanislav running past on the screen, he's shot, losing his life on the spot before help could find him. The killer may have tracked him through the popular fitness app Strava, which you can see on the screen shows his usual routes, shown on the screen with the red markings showing his usual routine.
Hey, my bad, y'all. I didn't really understand that one, man. Y'all let me know.
Like a man going on a long-distance trip, Adolph Robert Thornton Jr.'s last act on Earth would be to fill up his tank with gas. From 2016
Off tops, man. Rest in peace to young Dolph, man. Real shit.
till his death in 21, young Dolph was growing in leaps and bounds. His debut album, King of Memphis, hit the top 50 on the Billboard 200 chart. By 2020, he would be putting out his fifth studio album, Rich Slave. This would go on to break the top 5 and become his highest charting album. But young Dolph wasn't just a rapper. He was an entrepreneur who created an independent music label and formed a rap group. On the 17th of November of 21, he visited Memphis where he was raised and stopped by Maquetta's homemade butter cookies, a bakery he'd been known to frequent each time he returns home, to the place where it all began for him.
And that just sucks, though. It just doesn't matter how big you get, man. You can't go back to the hood. Like, bro got shot over getting cookies, bro. Savage.
2 men in a white Mercedes-Benz stopped outside the bakery and shot young Dolph multiple times. He died on the scene with several people trooping to the scene to mourn a son of Memphis. When was the rapper last seen alive? CCTV captured him as he stopped to fill his tank at a local gas station just a short distance from the bakery where he was gunned down. Watch him go through the motions like every other person, not knowing that this will be the last time he'll fill a tank. Each time a child leaves the house, parents worry, and not without merit. We've seen and heard of young people suffering harm or worse when they find themselves in the wrong situation. For 16-year-old Kalisha Williams, when she left home to attend what her parents believed to be a chaperoned party, it would be the last time her parents will see their child alive. Kalisha was a rising social media influencer. Her following was huge and growing on social media platforms. The world is currently driven by social media and she was poised to be in the thick of it all, except the universe had something else in works for her. When an Infiniti, a friend of Kalisha's, invited her to a Christmas party, her parents were skeptical about letting her go until they received a call from Infiniti's mother assuring that she would be present to chaperone the all-girls party. The last time Kalisha was seen alive after she left for the party, she was filming a video for TikTok at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. It was 12:02 a.m. Kalisha can be seen dancing, a usual motive for most TikTok videos. But towards the end of that video, you notice a change. Someone enters the room and Kalisha jumps, startled by that person. This is the moment she's suspected to have been murdered because according to the coroner, she was dead by 12:23 a.m. And yet no one knows what happened to the girl known to her family and friends as Pinky. While the police arrested and charged Carrie Brown, suspected to be Pinky's boyfriend at the time.
Man, that's why you gotta be careful who you, bro. You don't know who could be watching, bro. Like, for real, for real. Man, that's messed up.
Many question marks remain over the events of that night. Law enforcement agents, no matter the color of their uniforms or the nature of their badge, put their lives in harm's way each time they go out there to carry out their respective duties. There may be wars raging on in faraway lands, but closer to home, there are dangers lurking for those who will put themselves first to protect others. Flagstaff Officer Tyler Stewart was investigating a domestic violence call around the 800 block of West Clay Avenue on the afternoon of Saturday, December 27th of 2014. You can see from his body camera the moment he drives into the area in his patrol car, ready and willing to offer the best assistance possible. Earlier, a domestic violence call had come in and Officer Stewart is now knocking on the door from which the call had come. Watch him question Robert Smith about the incident that had occurred earlier between him and his girlfriend. The two chat easily, conversing in an uncharged environment. This peaceful atmosphere lasts until Officer Stewart asks to search Smith to make sure he doesn't have a weapon on him. It was at that moment that Smith whips out a gun and shoots the officer at point-blank range. He then turns the gun on himself and fires. Officer Stewart was rushed to the Flagstaff Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. No one knows when death will come, but for Felicia Kononchuk, there was something greater than a premonition on the 17th of February of 21. A deep fear of an impending doom pushed her to make a TikTok video, but no one was close enough to save her. The 9-year-old girl was home alone in Sheet of Russia with her brothers aged 4 and 14 when a neighbor started knocking in a troubling way. Kononchuk's father had left home to get something from the store.
У нас там сосед, он пьяный, он, стучится на дверь, всю ломает нафиг. Он уже несколько минут здесь стоит, стучится, орёт, матерится. Я просто мне страшно.
These are the words with which Kononchuk opens her last TikTok video before she's brutally murdered. The neighbor, Vasily Dunets, can be heard knocking on the door. Kononchuk goes closer to the door, motioning as the sound of the knocking intensifies. She says Dunets had been knocking for about an hour. Her kid brother had hidden, scared of the man outside their door. Here's an image of 32-year-old Dunets, the drunken neighbor knocking ceaselessly on their door. Just under 15 minutes.
Bro, where her parents at, bro? That needs to get smacked up, bro. He tripping, Max. What the?
After the young girl posted this video on her TikTok page, Dunets fired his hunting rifle into the home, hitting young Kononchuk in the head. She died as her father, who had just returned, tried to get her to the hospital. On the 4th of January 2018, 7-year-old Zainab Amin Ansari was on her way to Quran recitation classes when she was abducted by an unknown man. This disturbing event occurred in her hometown of Kasur, Punjab, leading to outcries all over the world. The last time Zainab was seen alive, a man was holding her by the hand and leading her away towards a gruesome death. A few days later, her body was found at a rubbish dump. This murder incited numerous protests and demonstrations throughout Pakistan and elsewhere. It led to a national...
I mean, what do you expect, bro? I'm telling you, bro. Like, imagine if that was your kid, bro. What? And you see him on camera just dragging her like that, bro? Y'all excuse me for my allergies, but you feel what I'm saying? Man, she over there didn't drag, bro, and then she end up... Man, rest in peace to these people, bro.
Child safety law named the Zainab Alert Bill. This bill will ensure that anyone found guilty of child abuse will face a minimum sentence of life in prison. The man responsible for this heinous act is 24-year-old Imran Ali. He was charged and found guilty and executed by hanging on the 17th of October of 2018. This video captured on dashcam shows the kind of father every daughter and mother would love to have. It was a quiet morning in July of 2022. Allison Duckrow and her mother Stacy had just returned from having breakfast at a local restaurant in Sydney, Ohio, when they noticed a car drive in after them and park in their driveway. They didn't know the car or who the driver might be. The mother and daughter walk into the house with their dog. Soon enough, the driver gets out of the car and walks up to the front door, ringing the doorbell once. The man at the door is Allison Duckrow's 22-year-old college boyfriend, James Rail. They've been broken up since 2019, and Allison had said it was a turbulent relationship. This video is the last time James Rail will be found alive, but he didn't know that either. Neither would you as you watch what looks like a simple visit. The two hadn't had contact since their breakup until the previous night. He texted, sending a voice note out of the blue. Here's a clip of the text and voice note which Allison never responded to.
I just wanted to reach out to you because I just wanted to see how you're doing.
James shows up at her home despite her silence, and you can hear Ellie's parents telling him their daughter doesn't want to talk to him.
Bro, he max tripping. He max simping. He max simping. He was tripping, bro.
James, she doesn't want to talk to you.
Allison's father can be heard telling James to get off my porch.
Get off my porch!
Allison's mother tells the police she had told him several times to leave, and at one point he left. He would have walked away with his life if he had stayed gone, but moments later he's seen returning to the door. He presses the bell again, and this time he's more aggressive, trying to force himself in. Allison calls 911 to report the intruder at the door, and her father's voice can be heard one more time telling James to get off his porch. It was at this point, just as the door frame broke, that Allison's father, Mitchell Dockrow, fired 3 shots through the door. The young man walks off, but he doesn't get too far, falling on the driveway just as police arrive on the scene. This video is the last time these 2 children are seen alive, but they didn't die at the hands of a stranger. Instead, it was at the hand of the one person whose job it was to protect them. Why did a mother kill her children? You'd be surprised. Between January and February of 2018, Louise Porton repeatedly attacked and murdered her kids, aged a year and 5 months while the other was aged 3. She murdered them because they got in the way of her sex life. Porton was seen at a gas station filling her tank.
Because of her sex life? Oh, man. Some people just don't deserve to be parents, bro. Them poor little kids, man. All because of your...
Undisturbed while one of her kids sat dead in the back seat. She looked unperturbed by that prospect, and it was long after she got home that she made a 911 call, reporting that her child was unresponsive. Here's a voice recording of Porton calling 911 long after the child had died.
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing?
No,
They're not breathing.
no.
Okay. And who was it we're talking about?
Lexi, she's 3.
She's 3. Bear with
Yeah.
me. Okay. So she's unconscious and she's not breathing. So help has been arranged, okay?
It was her complete lack of emotions and concern that caused suspicion and brought the attention of law enforcement to her. On her computer, police found her internet search history with a few of those asking how to murder her children and cover her crimes.
Oh, you already know for a fact. Bro, you going down in the worst way. If they have the death penalty, bro. Gotta, bro. Crazy.
Her children had been taken to the hospital several times in the past with illnesses that appeared strange to doctors, and one time one of the kids appeared with an illness consistent with airway obstruction. She's said to have been in the hospital toilet sharing nude photographs and propositioning men. She was found guilty and sentenced to 32 years in prison. At a gas station in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a woman is seen entering a gas station on a Sunday morning in a van. She's with a man, and the two appear to be cozy as they exit the van. Watch as she steps out, making her way into the gas station store. The woman is 31-year-old Nyeshia Liggins. She walks through the store with the unknown man. They make a few purchases and pay at the counter before walking back to the van. Watch as they slip back into the back of the van unbothered by anything. It looked very much like a normal exchange. There's no pensive moment where one might feel the possibility of impending doom, but it was there, hanging over Liggins' head all along. It was at this point that all hell breaks loose. Witnesses around the gas station at the time say they heard 2 gunshots, and the next moment we see the van door open, Liggs running hard towards the front of the store from which she had emerged earlier. The moment she runs out of the van, someone shuts the door quickly, and moments later, the van drives off. Liggins would fall immediately as she enters the store, dying at the scene. A gas station employee says the man with Liggins is a regular, and the two have always stopped at the store together in the past. Who is he, and what really happened inside that van in the final moments? We may never know. Kanenka Jenkins died of hypothermia, but she wasn't locked out of the house on a snowy night with nothing to cover herself. Instead, she was found dead in a walk-in freezer at Crowns Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in September of 2017. How did she get in there? No one has the answers. All we have is footage that captures her final moments where she seemed a little off, which raises further questions about her untimely demise. Here's 19-year-old Jenkins walking alone on the hallways of the Crown Plaza Hotel. She appears to be in good spirits and in full control of her faculties. A few hours later, she's alone, staggering, almost falling, and certainly no longer in control. She stumbles out of an elevator at one point and uses the wall as support as she makes her way down the hallway. This wasn't just a...
I think I do kind of remember this story, man, but as far as what I know from what I'm seeing, man, she is definitely impaired. Don't know how she got there. That was crazy, but whatever she was on, man, dang, you know what I'm saying? Man.
A walk that lasted for a few minutes. The time code on the video shows she'd been walking for more than an hour. Where are the hotel staff at the time she was roaming the halls helpless? The last time Jenkins was seen, she'd made her way to the lower levels and into the hotel kitchen. But in all of these clips, she's never seen walking into the freezers, so the question remains about how did she end up there? We may never know. The investigation yielded zero fruit, and foul play has been ruled out by the authorities. Police shootings are not new occurrences, but each time a new video of police violence surfaces, you have to wonder how much more of this we'll see before something is done on both sides. In May of 2020, the Indianapolis police chased and killed 21-year-old Jason Reed, who was by no means an innocent in this deadly encounter. Around the 36-second mark, you can hear the driver say, "I'm not pulling over, bro." A statement that would give you pause as you watch, scared for what's bound to come. What follows is a scary car chase that ends with the expected violence. Reed continued to make a video that streams straight to the audience on popular social media platform Facebook. He commented as he drove on, refusing to pull over as the police had instructed. His audience texted and his phone was blowing up with several calls, but he didn't heed any of the words from the cooler heads advising caution. For a moment, he thought he'd lost the officers chasing him, and he celebrates.
Uh-oh, did I lose his ass? Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! You're not gonna catch me, I'll go! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! I'm not going to jail today! No, sir! You gotta catch me, baby! I'm not going to...
When he thinks he had lost...
Oh, man. He is definitely in for an adrenaline rush. You knew he was on. He did not give no Fs, bro.
Officers, he parks the car, sharing his address and asking anyone close and watching to come get him. This is the last time anyone sees him alive. He's running, feet slapping the asphalt as he tried to make his final escape. The next thing we hear are gunshot sounds. Police say he had shot first, forcing them to return fire, which led to his death. Ernest Wilson went on Facebook Live on April 4th of 2020. He was with friends and was playing a harmless game of hide and seek. Like everyone else, he was enjoying himself, but this will be the last time Ernest will be seen alive. His friends had hidden and Ernest was walking around searching for them. It was in the heat of the coronavirus pandemic and Ernest hosted house parties like this one. It was a game night which he shared on his Facebook page. While he continues to search, he comes across a strange person in his home. He'd warned his friends not to bring anyone he didn't invite to the party. He must have suspected something like this would happen. You can see the individuals scale the fence and into the house, and an altercation ensued. The phone would fall out of Ernest's hands as Ernest was shot and killed on the scene.
Man, oh man. Those were some pretty crazy videos, you feel what I'm saying? Rest in peace to all those individuals, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that is wild, bro. Like, you just never know when your last is gonna be, like, for real. But on that note, y'all done made it to the end of the video, man. I appreciate y'all being here, and I appreciate the ones that made it to the end. For real, make sure y'all subscribe, and make sure y'all share the video. I appreciate the love, and I appreciate all y'all, man. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, you feel what I'm saying? And we gonna keep pumping out these reactions. I told you, we ain't gonna stop till we make it to the top. And on that note, sorry about that. That was my cat acting crazy. But on that note, man, we are out of here.